It's that time again. It is that time again. My goodness. Is it time to buy the dip? Buy the dip and break your hip? Man. I think it's time again. I think it's that time again. Woo! Yes, sir. No music. No music. My man Scaz won. Woo! Man, what's up, everybody? I am your host, Charles Becco, and today we are going to be talking about, is it finally time to buy the dip? Oh, man, the market was crazy. Hey, what's up, Doreen? Doreen, I'm not too sure if you picked up that NVIDIA play, but, man, that was a wild, wild west in the market. Okay, didn't really do too much. Had a little scalp here and there. Man, what a crazy, wild, insane day in the market. Again, I'm your host, and today we're going to be talking about, hey, is it time to buy the dip here? I see my man Scaz1 in the building. Scaz1, what's up, man? NFT artist, okay. Man, this is just great. So let me get some links up in the room for you ladies and gentlemen right now. If you find this information beneficial, don't be afraid to share the room. Also, ping a couple people in here that will benefit. Again, we changed clubs here. We are no longer in our previous club. We are now rocking the Brooklyn Traders Club, right? So we're rebuilding up the club here. So that's so yeah, that's that. Okay. Give me 1 second here. 1 second. I'm getting the links up for everybody here so that you could have it. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. Just getting the links out to everybody. Okay. And once I get the links up, right, then we will be able to pin the link in the room so you guys could watch what is going on up in here. Okay, got the link. Post into Clubhouse. And here we are. I think that's it. Okay. Okay. All right, so the rooms are up, and team, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. So right, so what happened in the market today, right? Well, kind of squirrely, right? And so the question is this: is buy the dip back? I don't know, and it depends. I'm gonna go more so with I don't know, but I really want to be able to show you the best bullish case. Of course, I'm gonna go over the bearish case. And then you, ladies and gentlemen, will have to decide for yourselves, right? And so let me just get up the NQs here because the chart is a little bit less busy. And let's go. Okay, so here's what I see here on the Qs, right? I actually see something, kind of a rare occurrence called the triple bottom, right? We made a low here, right? We made another low and another one, right? You could... It's a triple bottom, but it's also, it looks like an inverted cup and handle, not inverted cup and handle, an inverted kind of head and shoulders as well, right? So, you know, we went over this morning where we were looking at this thing and we're like, you know, what's going on with this thing? Is it, you know, is it something that we could actually buy, right? And this morning when I was looking at it, I said, well, I do see the triple bottom here, right? But you know, what we would need to have happen, we need to break over the levels over here on this side for it to come to pass. And so that's exactly what we got, right? So we actually were able to kind of break over those levels, right? And so here it is. Here is the, you can say, you call that one shoulder. Here goes the head, and there goes the other shoulder, right? So one shoulder is big as heck. Here's a tiny head, and then the other shoulder, right? And so here's what's important, right? We actually pushed again. We actually pushed through the previous range, right? Between 318 and 338, right? We broke through, and we broke through on some pretty significant volume, right? So that's how it looks like on the Qs. Same pattern in NVIDIA here. Okay, I did get a question about NVIDIA this morning. It's the same thing, right? And I said pretty much the same thing. The question was, hey, Charles, what do we see here? I said, hey, at the time, NVIDIA was down here at 236. And I said, well, you know, while NVIDIA is down here at 236, you know, this is the 200 here, right? You can't really see it that well. Let me just make this thicker than a Snicker because I have a lot of levels over here, right? So let me just make that thicker than a Snicker. There it is. So that's the 200 here. And we were sitting right under here this morning. And, yeah, basically we pushed through and we squeezed all the way up to, I'm thinking this is the 50, right? Yep. To the 50 here on NVIDIA. And, I mean, team, I got to tell you, this was an incredible move today. And it's kind of making me think, you know, could this potentially be a reversal because of how strong of a move this is, right? Because we came under the 200 here. You could tell on NVIDIA, we didn't even touch the 200. We pulled back down, and then we tried it again yesterday. You know, I'm expecting maybe we're going to come back down or maybe come up here and go this way. We kind of went up, and we went completely through, right? So we went through the 200 all the way up to a falling 50 here, right? So the question, you know, is this play over? Can we buy the dip? Can we have continuation? Well, it depends, right? If you're above the 50, right? Let's say you get to 246 now, then A, you know, then I would say I would look at that as a buy signal. If you kind of go back under here and retest the 200, you want to see 237 hold, right? So it's two things here on NVIDIA. You either want to be above 246.50 or you want to see 237, 236 hold, right? Then that will add to the bullish case here on NVIDIA. If not, okay, we may be in for some more pain and turmoil here in the short term. But man, what a great day today. Let me go back to the Qs real quick. Again, I'm mentioning it because I see one of the members of our community that was in the room this morning and she had the questions. And so, Doreen, again, you know, just check out those levels, right? So let's look at the QQQ, right? Pretty much the same thing, right? You know, we kind of ran into the 8 yesterday. Again, we had some news this morning. Kind of, I don't want to say it's shady, right? But it's like there was different headlines coming out today, whether there was progress being made on the Ukraine Russian war or not, right? And so I guess the consensus is that there was progress made, right? But there was some reports that came out where, you know, allegedly Russia said that they drew out like a 15-point plan for a potential peace plan. And then it came out later that Ukraine was disputing that and blah, 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 blah. But off of that news, that's what kind of gave us the big pop in the market, you know, pre-market, right? So we were kind of flat, and then we just kind of started gassing up sometime around 1 o'clock last night, and then we just kind of kept going, right? Yeah. We also had Jay Powell. We had Jay Powell come in as well, and Jay Powell, you know, made a statement as to, you know, what they believed what was going on with the interest rates. And so we are anticipating 6, possibly 7 rate hikes, which is kind of in line where we thought that they were going to do in terms of like, you know, moving up the interest rate 0.25% each time. And so, yeah, so we had our first rate hike today. So off of the initial news, we pulled back. We actually, you know, kind of hit we actually closed the gap from yesterday. That's what happened. We closed the gap, and something happened in the market that I had never seen before, right? Typically speaking, when you have a situation where, you know, there's a Fed statement, right? Usually the market gets clapped and it stays clapped, right? But something very, very peculiar happened. You know, for one reason or another, the market makers, the whales, the institutions, they just bought this dip and they just carried us higher throughout the end of the day. So I'm pretty sure, right, off of this initial announcement, it probably caught some shorts by surprise, some bears. Sorry, the bears kind of went in, shorted the news, right? But then the market, again, I have no idea what it was that caused the bounce back, right? But as soon as buyers came in to buy the dip, the shorts got squeezed out of their position, and pretty much in a very big and a violent way. Now, I do have another chart for you and everybody to consider here, right? The one chart that I say is actually different this time around is the VIX, right? We've been talking about the VIX for a couple of days now, right? We've been covering it for the last 2 weeks. The VIX was basically on a steady uptrend here, okay? You could kind of see it where we were kind of trending upwards, and especially here, you can see the uptrend very closely. We're tightening up, and then now in 2 days, we went from being above 30, right, to coming down to the VIX is 50 here at 26, and that is, I mean, at 25, 26 VIX, it's still pretty high, right? But in comparison to just where we have been, right, I would say that, again, this is looking okay for a potential continuation. Let's take a look at some names here, right? I want to look at Facebook, okay? Because out of all the names, right, during this whole ordeal, Facebook was the one name that we consistently, okay, the one name that we consistently said maybe it was okay to potentially buy the dip in terms of adding some long-term shares, okay? And so if you look at Facebook here, okay, Facebook had actually 2 buy setups that failed. One was right here on February the 24th, and then the other one was here on March the 9th. Now, these are pretty solid setups where usually if the first setup fails, the next setup is more higher probability. The third time it happens, right, which it was close to happening yesterday, right, but it didn't quite get there, right? But the third time that it happened, right, which is today, it carried us further, right? And so on Facebook, I'm looking for Facebook to potentially continue higher. Okay, I like the fact that we're above the 21 here. I'm looking for a potential maybe continuation from today, possibly the 205, 210, 215, and 220 price targets to the upside, finally on Facebook. Another name that had a similar setup is going to be Shopify, right? Shopify, again, it's the same days, right? You have February the 24th, we had a buy setup here. Then we had another buy setup right here, March the 9th. Both of those failed. They didn't pan out. Right now we have the third buy setup. With this third buy setup, I think we're actually going to go somewhere, right? And so we are riding up to the daily 21 here, right? So again, the problem with these potential setups, right, is that we're running into a wall, right? With Shopify, right, we're at the 21. With the Facebook here, we're just above the 21, right? And so one is above, one is under, right? So we really want to hold those levels, right? So on Facebook, you want to see Facebook hold 200 here. On Shopify, let me just get this up on the screen. With Shopify here, you really want to see Shopify above 641, all right? Let's look at some other names, especially some more beat up names, right? Let's look at Netflix, right? Netflix here, okay? Here's the thing about Netflix that I wish I would have seen yesterday. So Netflix, similarly, right? Again, what day are we talking about? March the 24th, buy setup, fail. What's the next day? March the 9th, buy setup, fail. Here's the next day. The buy setup in Netflix actually came in yesterday, right? So again, a lot of these tickers, they move pretty similarly, right? But they don't always move the same. And so with Netflix here, the buy setup actually came in yesterday. And had we seen that, especially knowing that we failed the 2 previous times, then dang it, that would have been a pretty sure, not pretty sure, that would have been a nice little setup there for us to get the continuation, right? And so that is Netflix. Let's see. Let's look at Microsoft real quick. Haven't looked at Microsoft in a while. Microsoft looks exactly like the Qs, right? And so again, the issue here is we're running into a falling 34. And if you look at Microsoft here, we've got an actual big problem here, right? So, there's always the buy side, there's always the sell side, there's always the bull calls, there's also the bear calls, right? Does anybody want to guess what the issue is here on Microsoft, right? I'm going to give the community 30 seconds to send me a message, whether by Facebook, whether by YouTube, or whether by Clubhouse, right? If you could click the little airplane icon, if you're watching, please click the little airplane icon and then send me a message. Does anybody know what the issue is with Microsoft here? Because I see a major issue here. Anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to give you a few seconds, okay? I will give you guys a few seconds here if you could let me know what the major issue is with Microsoft, all right? Okay. While we actually do that, let me just say, this is Charles Becco. You are watching. Oh man, somebody already got it. You are watching here the Brooklyn Trader Clubhouse review of the stock market. So I really appreciate y'all. Be sure to follow the club, follow your mod, me. And, you know, check out www.brooklyntraders.net. Check out www.brooklyntraders.net. And I already seen a message here. I believe that's from my man, Sean Woods. Sean, you were 1,000% right. Man, Sean, we got to do something special for you. Sean, hit me up on the back end, and I'm going to give you a month's free subscription to try out Brooklyn Traders. Okay, Sean? Just hit me in the back end. I'm going to give you a month's free trial on Brooklyn Traders. Just hit me up on the back end. Let me know your Discord handle, and I'll be sure to hand it to you. Man, Sean, you're 1,000% right, okay? That's not a problem. Sean gave me the right answer. I didn't tell it to you guys, but Sean sees it, okay? And the fact that Sean sees it means that he's been paying attention. And I don't know who's been teaching him the game, but he's got it. So, and Sean, you must know my charts really well, right, to be able to see it. So, yeah, this is the 50, okay? This is the 200. So, we got a death cross on Microsoft. A death cross, what does that mean? The death cross is basically a technical indicator, meaning the Mr. Tony. Sean says Mr. Tony been teaching him game. Okay, that's pretty cool. Shouts out to Mr. Tony out there. So basically the death cross is an indicator indicating a big major bearish reversal signal on the charts where the 50-day simple moving average crosses under the 200-day simple moving average, right? And so, man, for me, if Microsoft could pop up a little bit tomorrow and kind of ride out to 299, I'm maybe going to look to kind of close some positions there, or maybe some possible, I don't know, selling some calls or something, or, you know, possibly, you know, setting up a longer term put option or something, because this is not going to be something that's going to resolve itself just like that. It's very rare to see something actually make a death cross and then for it to just resolve very quickly, right? And so, man, this is a big, huge red flag. We've got a massive death cross here on Microsoft, and I'm so glad that we are looking at the charts here. And Sean, congratulations, brother. Again, hit me up on the back end, and we'll get your Discord, and we will get you into the Brooklyn Traders Discord. Appreciate you. All right, so moving right along. So we got Microsoft there. Let's look at Amazon, right? Check out Amazon. Well, we see what happened with Amazon, right? So if you're wondering, hey, Charles, what the heck does a death cross look like after it happens? Well, look at Amazon here, right? Sometime around January, what happened? Death cross happened, and then you see the price, right, come down. Even if we get the FOMO rallies back up, we go back down. And right now, team, this thing is still on a downside, right? So if you've been noticing, we've been kind of fighting off the 50, right? We go all the way down. We have these FOMO rallies up, go down, FOMO rally up, go down, FOMO rally up. So we're making lower highs and lower lows, right? I mean, we were holding, but we made a lower low here. So we have to be concerned. We have to be concerned here with Amazon, right? And so, team, you know, again, I'm not going to hold you, right? We didn't really make a whole lot of trades today because we really were wanting to figure out what the Fed statement was. The Fed statement came out. It set the market lower. Was good for a couple of scalps. And that's that. Now, let's look at some names that we haven't looked at in a long time, right? Let's look at these Chinese names. We got Baba over here. Man, Baba Boom, up 36% today. Wowee, right? Off of the lows here on the open at 87 all the way to 104. What happened? China basically came out. China said, hey, you know, we're going to do things to shore up our markets. You know, they're going to stop doing those investigations into the tech companies, because once they launched those investigations and they were coming down heavy on them. And if you guys remember, this is the thing that actually sent Jack Ma into hiding, right? This thing sent Jack Ma into hiding. And so China basically said, hey, you know, we're sorry, we're not going to be doing that anymore. We're going to be doing things to shore up our market. And Alibaba, big, massive pop, kaboom, above 100. And I expect some continuation tomorrow. Next target on Baba here, 110. Let's look at DD. DD, almost the same thing. Now, DD's not exactly the same, right? Shoot, up 41% here on DD. My goodness. Whoo! Right? But I can't say that this is a buy yet like Baba is, right? But DD here, let's look at NIO. Again, okay, some other Chinese names. Again, NIO, nice big pop, nice great move, up 25% of the day, close at the highs. I want to put a price target on NIO for the next few days or the next week at 20. Next price target on NIO is going to be 20 on NIO, right? Now, team, does this mean that you back the truck up and then you load up and you go ham? No, it doesn't. It does mean that this, you know, the kind of little reversal that we have here in the market, it sets up little opportunities that'll kind of set up like a magnetic relationship between the lower EMA and the higher, typically, right? Once you get through one level, you're magnetically drawn to another, right? And so unless we fall back under, let's say, 1750 here on NIO, I don't see a reason why we can't just pop up to the 21 there at 20.50 price targets on NIO. Price targets on NIO. Let's talk about another thing that we've been covering quite a bit here at Tesla, right? And so, team, if you remember from our previous meeting, right, we said it, Tesla likes to kind of hold between 800 and around 840, 850. Now, for 2 days, we did break that pattern, right? For 1 day, actually, but then we quickly got back up to the 800 here, and we closed up at 840 on Tesla. But again, because of the greater market, right? Because of how that is, because technically the 50 is falling, right? Because the 34 is still falling, right? You kind of have to play the channel here, right? So does Tesla go up to 900? It possibly could, right? But I will be looking for news on that. To me, if I don't hear news on Tesla, I'm going to be very careful here. Tesla has been kind of fighting off of the 200 as well. You got your 200 and you have your falling 34. So it's gonna be kind of hard for Tesla to kind of pick it up here. But hey, if it does, it does, right? And we're not gonna fight it, right? So levels on Tesla, right? We want to see Tesla above its 200, basically above 850. Let's get above 850 and possibly above 860. If you do that, you open the door to 900 on Tesla, okay? You open the door on Tesla, right? And so, yeah, you know, these are probably the most interesting names in the market. And rounding it out here, let's just take a look at Apple, right? And so, again, I've got some traders here, right? Again, we've got some traders here. Now, Apple, again, we published via our private Discord the day before and then the second that happened. I said, team, okay? I'm not going to go pull it up for you guys, okay? But it's in there. Trust me. If I was lying, I'd have 100 people like, hey, Charles, you never said that. You're a liar. We definitely called it out. We said, team, right when Apple, right, hits that 200, okay, you're going to get an obligatory bounce at some point, right? And so let me see. Is this a simple? This is the simple, I believe it probably hit the 200 exponential. I had another chart. But we came down basically at 150. This is where the 200 exponential was, I believe. Let me see if I could see that on a different chart here. Right? Okay, here it is. Here it is, right? Okay. And I said basically as soon as we come down here to the 50, that I believe once it comes down to the 50, 150 at the exponential 200, I believe that we could get a bounce, right? I had a price target set to 155. We hit our 155 target. And, you know, I chose to go the other direction. You know, I got smacked up a little bit, but I was able to get out at a small profit on the pullback today. But basically, team, man, you know, you know, again, I was looking for 155, and we damn near got 160 today with the price target to the upside. So, where does Apple go from here? I'll tell you what, Apple isn't a long setup, and I wish I would have seen this chart yesterday. I just was so not focused on the long side that I missed these really easy opportunities on Apple. I missed these easy opportunities on Netflix, right? I was looking at the chart in a different kind of way. I wasn't aware that Apple was going to get above its 200, right? Again, firstly, typically when you kind of get under, or you get under there and test, you will kind of like face some resistance here, but we quickly bounced over that. And so again, looking at the chart now, it's clear to see why we kind of gapped up here. This was a long setup yesterday in Apple. Totally missed it. Chose the other direction, but hey, that's how the cookie crumbles, right? We're not always going to get and see the right types of things. Again, I see a bounce for a scalp in Apple. I didn't see a potential reversal setup in Apple here, right? But yeah. I would not be surprised to see Apple testing 160 and then 161 possibly tomorrow. That is Apple. That is Apple. For disclosure, we have no positions in Apple right now, the second, and we will reevaluate any and everything tomorrow. And so, team, I want to thank everybody for being here today. Again, my name is Charles Becco. Again, follow the club, follow your mod here. And again, you know, consider joining our club. Consider joining our Discord at www.brooklyntraders.net. That's www.brooklyntraders.net. Team, I want to thank you. And God bless everybody. God bless. God bless. Take care, everybody. Appreciate y'all.